Mr. Henry Dunbar. Thank you.
Good morning. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased and proud to be here today, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak to this brilliant gathering here today. Just a couple of weeks ago, an independence march passed through this very square. I don't know if any of you saw it. It was some sight. Robert the Bruce was there. So was William Wallace. It was Brigadoon in kilts, Hart in camis and Jimmy hats. And there were flags, loads of them. Scottish saltires, as you would imagine, Catalan flags, Palestinian flags, and Irish tricolours. It's a safe bet you all know why. Well, there's plenty of saltires here today, because we are just as proud as they are to be Scottish. But there's also plenty of union flags, because unlike the nationalists, we are not ashamed to be British. And unlike the nationalists, we don't break the law. You can be assured, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a legal gathering, properly notified and properly stewarded. They said they had 100,000 at the march. Aye, that'll be right. The police estimated 35,000, but even that was generous. A force for good videoed the march and counted heads. There were fewer than 9,000. Well, there's a fair crowd here today, but I'll save the Evening Times the bother by saying here and now that there's probably less than 9,000. We won't be making any ridiculous claims. At the end of the day, it's not the numbers at the rally that matter, it's the numbers at the ballot box. Hey! And let me remind the tartan warriors of all under one banner, who seem to think they can fool us into believing that all of Scotland is clamouring for independence. It's only been 5 years since Scotland voted by a clear majority to remain part of the United Kingdom. And let me remind Nicola Sturgeon here today and her ruling cabal that that was supposed to be once in a generation vote. Nicola said it herself, and 5 years is certainly not a generation. Back in 2014, they tried to hoodwink us into believing there was a strong economic case for independence. They produced a 670-page document that was more fantasy than fact. But the people of Scotland saw through the dodgy figures and the speculation. Now they want to have another go at an independence referendum. And you'd think they'd at least put together a stronger economic case. But incredibly, they haven't. We got a Growth Commission report that was so painfully honest about the economic consequences of independence that they've been desperately trying to play it down, just as a discussion document. Their growth report admits what they were trying to deny back in 2014, that oil revenues were woven into the figures. Well, we all know what's happened to oil and the oil price since then. And the Scottish Nationalists' very own report warns us that independence will require higher taxation, more borrowing, public spending cuts, and eye-watering austerity that will make today's austerity look like a walk in the park. Of course, thanks to the Scottish Nationalist Party, we're already paying higher taxes in Scotland than the rest of the United Kingdom. And the reality is, Nicola, that some families are having to rely on food banks and their ex-servicemen are having to sleep in the streets of this city of Scotland. Shame on you! Ladies and gentlemen, it's a genuine worry that Scotland's financial affairs are in the hands of a total incompetent called Derek Mackay. It's frightening how bad this guy is at handling our finances. Can you believe it? He recently went on a course to improve his public speaking. Though, not a course to sharpen his economic skills, but a course to make him perform better in front of a microphone. You couldn't make it up. But doesn't that just sum up Nicola Sturgeon's administration? They've got an army of PR advisors and spin doctors, churning out impressive sound bites and soothing reassurances to paper over every failure and every disaster. And ladies and gentlemen, there have been plenty of failures and disasters. For a party of grievance that complains endlessly about Westminster control and how they just don't have enough levers of power at Holyrood, they've been a total embarrassment. Any time they've handed new powers, just ask the farmers. They had to wait for EU farm subsidies that the Scottish Government had in the bank, but couldn't pay out because they couldn't get an expensive new computer programme to work. Then there's the social security benefits. After years of carping, Westminster finally agreed to devolve some welfare benefits to Holyrood. Not only has Sturgeon's pitiful administration been unable to take control after all their whining and complaining, but they told Westminster they wouldn't be able to handle them until 2021. Now they've announced a further delay until 2024. This hasn't stopped these brass-necked posers from complaining about how badly the UK Department of Work and Pensions is and how they administer these benefits. The Scottish Nationalist Party, they've got no shame. 8 years to take control of social security benefits. This is the same team who told us back in 2014 that it would only take 18 months to set up a fully functioning, independent Scotland. Nonsense! And now there's a VAT debacle. Westminster has agreed to share the VAT receipts with the Scottish Government. It's a cash bonanza for Scotland. But Sturgeon's crew have botched that too. Well, it seems that Derek Mackay can't crunch the numbers. In fact, and you heard it here first, there's talk of a £1 billion black hole in Mackay's budget. Spending is out of control. They're running out of money, and they're running out of excuses. The endless nationalist grievance about powers being centralised by Westminster is a bit rich coming from a Scottish Government that has been doing that right here with our own local councils, including this one in Glasgow. There are councillors here who could tell you how their councils has been starved of funding by Nicola Sturgeon's government. It's been quite a ruse, ladies and gentlemen. Local councils have been left to carry the can for austerity, while Nicola has kept the cash to protect her vote-winning freebies and to jet around the world posing as a world leader. And have you heard the latest big independence idea? They want to ditch the pound and set up a separate Scottish currency. The Scottish Nationalist Party bosses say they'll only do that when the conditions are right. But the fanatics at their spring conference voted to do it as quick as possible. They were even arguing about what they would call it. Well, here's a wee suggestion from me, Nicola. You might as well call it the hee-haw, for that's all it'll be worth. Two weeks ago, and I'm not an avid reader of The Sun, Bill Leckie, a journalist in The Sun, wrote, and I quote, Nicola Sturgeon and the Scottish National Party are a shallow shower of charlatans. He is 100% correct and have been conning the people of Scotland for years. Ladies and gentlemen, I could bore you all day in how Scotland has been failed, yes, failed, by Nicola Sturgeon and her separatist cult. I could talk about her failing health service and the crisis in education. I could talk about how you can't step onto a train these days with any certainty of getting where you want to go. But the main reason we are here today is to say to Nicola, loud and clear, if you can't run a wee pretendy parliament, you can't fool us that you're capable of running an independent country. You can bring Brigadoon to the streets of Glasgow as often as you like. We all enjoy a good laugh. But destroying the world's most successful political and economic union is no joking matter. It's a gamble with our future that we are not prepared to take. And this gathering today is just a small representation of the majority of Scots who voted against independence in 2014 and who are sick to the back teeth of being told we must have another referendum because of the Scottish Nationalist Party's obsession of independence. And what happens when you lose that referendum? And they will. Is it on to Indy Ref 3, Indy Ref 4, Indy Ref 5? With all the division and the economic uncertainty that goes with it, just to satisfy the personal obsession of Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola might think she'll wear us down eventually. Well, I've got a message for Nicola Sturgeon here today, and I'm sure you have. You will never wear down the unionist people of Scotland. Why would we want to walk out on one of the world's oldest and most stable democracies? Why would we want to walk out on the world's fourth largest state? Why would we want to walk out on one of the world's finest defence forces? Why would we even want to walk out on family and friends who live in other parts of the United Kingdom? I believe we need to send another important message from this gathering today. It's to Scotland's unionist parties and politicians. Despite the Scottish Nationalist Party's woeful record in government, opinion polls tell us that 1 in 3 Scots would still vote Scottish Nationalists in any future. So today I would like to ask Ruth Davison, Richard Leonard and Willie Rennie, to what extent is that your fault? Is it your fault for not holding the Nationalists to account? Is it your fault for not exposing their PR spin? Is it your fault for not presenting Scottish voters with a clear alternative to Nicola Sturgeon and the Scottish National Party? It's all very well telling Nicola to get on with the day job. You need to get on with the day job too and help us get rid of spiteful grievance nationalism. The nationalists like to accuse people like you and me of being British nationalists or Britnats. Well, I'm no nationalist. What I am is a British patriot. There's a world of difference between being a patriot motivated by love of my country and a nationalist motivated by grievance, spite and envy. I am no traitor to Scotland, and neither are you. We are just proud to be Scottish as any nationalist. Proud of Scotland, proud of our history, proud of our heritage, proud of the tolerant, democratic, welcoming nation that we are. But we are also proud to be British. Proud of the role that Scotland has played and continues to play in the United Kingdom of Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. It would be reckless for a country to secede from a long-standing political and economic union without giving proper thought to the consequences. Those are not my words. They were spoken by Nicola Sturgeon, referring to the United Kingdom leaving the EU. Well, if she thinks it's reckless to leave a union we've only been in for 50 years, how reckless is it to want out of a brilliant union that has endured for over 300 years and is the envy of the world? In closing, ladies and gentlemen, God grant that the people of Scotland will continue to value the Union and preserve in the bonds of kinship and friendship that unites all of us in these islands. Ladies and gentlemen, we are stronger together. We are British together. We are proud to be Scottish and we are proud to be British. United we stand, divided we fall. I thank you and may God bless you all.